What's up, YouTube? Happy 4th of freaking July. Got the American thing going on. People blowing stuff up all around us. Really, this is the 3rd. But this video is going to be posted the 4th. So, happy 4th of July. And let's remember, folks, this isn't just a holiday that you're off work and you get to barbecue and you get to blow stuff up. And I mean, we do. That's cool. But let's really remember what this is really about. This is to celebrate the freedom of America. For those that wrote that check, paid their dues, fought in the military, and have made this a free country. So we can do things like, vape. So, you may be against war. That's fine. I'm not for war. I mean, I'm kind of against it. It's stupid, but that's not what this is about. This whole holiday is about the sacrifices those people made. So, let's just be thankful for them. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. But they're putting their butts on the line to protect you, me, everybody. Vaping, all that stuff. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. Vaping. We're here today. We're just kind of going to go through, talk about Mech mods, unregulated box mods, and regulated box mods. Some of you might recognize this. It's the IPv4. Here, we've got the SMY Kung Fu Series box. We'll get into why series is important for those of you that don't know. And here we've got the AR Mech mod. We'll talk about that too. But for now, I got a special surprise for you guys. I've got a co-host, but through the magic of vapor, I'll bring him to you. So give me just a second here, work up a little cloud and get some magic going on. Here he is, would you look at that? Hi. This is Nephew Tanner. My nephew, not your nephew. Don't try to steal my nephew, that's just not fair.
It's not nice.
Okay, so back to what we were talking about. All the different types of mods, drippers, tanks, all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the co-host. Why? Because it's just polite. Not really, it's just because I'm tired of talking to you guys because I've been here a couple times before. He's new to this, and he's not sponsored by Kicker. He just thinks he's cool, really. Anyways, Tanner is his name. Tanner, say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Okay, Tanner's going to tell you a little bit about his AR Mech mod. Why it's called a Mech mod, what he likes, what he doesn't like. What I'll do, I'll shut up, let him talk.
That's not the smartest thing you've done.
Well, you know, we have our days.
Yeah. The reason why it's called a Mech mod is because there's no, electronics or anything funky like that. The reason why it's called an AR mod is because, as you can see, it looks like the foregrip on an AR-15. You know,
what that means is like tactical, very dangerous. Stay away. Not really, because there's no pistol grip. Duh.
Well, no, it'd be assault then.
Oh yeah.
But the reason why it's called a Mech mod, as I said, there's no electronics. It's just a button, a recessive button, so I don't have to worry about locking. That's amazing. So this button makes contact with the battery, which then makes direct contact with a pen inside, that makes direct contact with the RDA, thus giving you your electric current. Some pros and cons of it would be that some pros, like I said, the recessive button, that's nice. Very nice. I can set it down without having to worry about locking it, pick it up, and ta-da, it works. But, and the troll on it, very nice airflow. Very nice. I prefer it over all others.
I'm going to pause him right there, guys. See, he says he likes the recess button because he doesn't got to lock it and all that. But we'll rewind a couple months ago. Main man here got out of the car to go into Best Buy, tossed it in the old cup holder. Well, when there's spare change in your cup holder, that dime will fit in there and will fire the mod. Go into Best Buy for 15 minutes, come back out, your car's hotboxed. And when I say hotboxed, I mean this dude was on fire. Because, well, once you run out of juice, cotton's flammable. Juice at that point, I guess, is flammable. This is troll number 2, because the first one, well, they don't like to be burnt.
Just a little bit.
Now that I've kind of let the old cat out of the bag, there he went. I'm going to let him go back to talking about it, but I just had to point that out because he's my nephew and it's funny.
Should I have brought the burnt crisp of a chuff tip I had?
Well, probably not. I think they get the picture. Sucker melted down completely. We had to replace it. It was done. Everything that wasn't metal did not survive. It was toast.
But, another good pro to it is that, as I said, good airflow and all that, I am able to fit 20 gauge wiring in it. For those of you who can see it. 20 gauge wiring, it puts out some decent power. I am running a 20 gauge dual 5-wrap coils.
On how many millimeter shaft?
I'm not sure.
3. 5 wraps, 20 gauge on 3 mil. He doesn't know because I built it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a standard, nothing crazy, no claptons or twisted. It's just 20 gauge Canthal wrapped 5 times around a 3 millimeter rod. Really simple. Cloud like a champ. Actually, speaking of cloud like a champ, let's see how it does. Give us a good hit. Wait, where'd you go? Pretty good cloud. I mean, you don't have to get crazy builds to get good cloud. A lot of it is technique. Power does play into it, all that, but what it all boils down to, guys, is technique. You can have all the power in the world, but if you can't handle it, it won't work. It just doesn't. So he's got good technique. You've seen him kind of blow out there, back through the vent holes. That was preheating it, so that whenever he started to breathe in, he's getting full-on vapor. It comes with crazy flavor. It's not quite as good as like a flavor build, because it's competition, it's a little hotter, it kind of cooks the flavor out. But, you get crazy cloud, and when you're cloud chasing, that's what you're going for. Crazy cloud. Who cares about flavor, right? Not really. I still like flavor, but
yeah,
for competition, flavor kind of takes a second, chair to, getting a big cloud. But let's talk about, it's a pro-con of this mod. He's fought it a ton. I fought it a little bit, helping him with it. He talked about the button Mech in contact with the battery, and then the battery is contacted to a pin that's directly in contact with the dripper. That pin is the pro/con. It's adjustable. That's the pro. Tell us about the con.
Well, the con is that, yes, it is adjustable, but every time you change out the battery, it likes to self-adjust itself. So, when you put the battery back in, it likes to move around a lot and not let you make contact. So, what you have to do is you pull it out, you push the pin back in, you unscrew it a little bit, screw it back on.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Every time you pull the battery out. And with a Mech mod, there's no charging ports anywhere. So it's not like you can just plug a cord into it and charge it. No, you have to take the battery out. Every single stinking time you pull that battery out, that stupid pin adjusts itself. And I say stupid because it doesn't have a brain, because if it had a brain it would adjust itself properly. It doesn't, and it sucks, but as you guys seen with the Cloudy Blue, it hits hard. The AR, people all talk about, it's all about the mass of the mod. You gotta have a lot of copper and a lot of mass to it. Man, this thing's got holes all in it. That purple you see through there, and those little holes, I don't know if you can see that. There we go, yeah. See all them little purple holes? That purple is the battery. That's what you're seeing is the battery. So you'd think with all them holes and all these little cuts and everything in it, that, it wouldn't transfer power all that good. But man, this thing pumps out the vape. It's surprisingly a really, really good mod. And, for gun people like us, rootin', tootin', shooting Americans, old Stars and Stripes, it just looks cool. We just like it, but it hits like a beast. A step up from that, what he wants, that I have, some people get jealous. What? Is the SMY Kung Fu Series Box. The reason it's called the Series Box, for those of you that know electronics, series is when one battery powers through another battery. So you amplify your power. It's not two batteries working together. No, it's this battery helping that battery. Look inside here. You can see I've got 2 vamped 40 amp batteries. One of them, positive side, is up. Let me turn these where we can see positive and negative. One of them, the positive is up. The other one, the positive is down. That's because they're directly connected, to make the flow of power. Parallel boxes, you'll see both batteries positive up negatives down. You get extended battery life out of those because, it's two batteries working together, but you don't get the power. The problem with the power, and yes, power can be a problem. The problem with the power is that you really can't build stupid low ohm builds. Oh yeah, and that's the Kung Fu, because old Bruce Lee doing that. When you do stupid low builds on this, I'm talking like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, because the way it just rams the power to it, buddy, it gets hot. And when I say hot, I mean I've caught this thing on fire trying to vape it. Like, it's that hot, that fast. It just shoves all the juice out of the cotton and bursts into flames. It's not fun breathing fire, kids. It sucks. It hurts, it burns, and it tastes like crap. You cough a lot. You feel like an emphysema patient for a few minutes. It's not good. But I love this thing for competition because there is almost no ramping time. I can build these stupid huge, I don't know how well you can see those, but it's twin 24 gauge 16 wrap on 3mm rod. Huge coils. But I can run those huge coils and it, almost instantly, hits. Look at that. I push the button, we have vapor. That fast. That's why this thing clouds like a boss. Now what I'm running on this is the Buddha Zephyr. This thing has 36 air holes, from side to side, and it has an air hole that goes through each negative post to get airflow to the back side of the coil. This is my competition build. I don't vape this every day. This thing is a juice whore. Yes, whore. Yeah. Ooh, dirty word. Watch out. The networks are going to get me. This thing eats the juice like crazy. 4 to 6 vapes, and you're re-dripping. And when I say dripping, I'm talking like 8 to 10 drips per coil. Because there's a massive coil in there. There's a massive wick. It has a big juice well. This thing is a boss. I'm sure some of you out there, have bigger, better builds. You only run 22mm and you think the Zephyr's junk. That's great. We all have opinions. We talked about this in another video. We all like our own opinion because, well, it's ours. But my opinion is the Buddha Zephyr is killer. I like it. I'm going to keep using it. But don't think that doesn't, I still want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you're building. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to hear how good you're doing. And I'll tell you what, speaking of heat and fire and all that, guys, it's July. We're in Oklahoma. It's hot outside. I forgot to turn the fan on. So, through the magic of editing, I'm going to disappear and reappear before you ever see me do anything, and this fan's going to be back on. Watch. Woo, wasn't that cool? See, now we got some airflow in here. See, it's starting to sweat, Fat kid over here.
Hi.
Donuts and bacon. So what I'll do, just donuts, Homer Simpson. What I'll do is I'll hit a little vape on this. You guys kind of seen a little bit, whenever I magically appeared my lovely co-host.
Don't look at me like that.
Co-host. Anyways. I'll hit it again. This thing is a champ, and it's not very expensive. I think I paid like $40 or $50 for this, and I think $20 or $30 for the Zephyr. So it's not an expensive setup. You have to use good batteries. You really got to practice safety. Check all your coils, check your ohms. You don't want to blow this thing up. Battery acid is not good anywhere but in a battery. When you let it out, it's always hot and it burns a bunch. Everything. So, let me hit a little vape on this and kind of show you how it clouds. Even with the ceiling fan going, you'll get the idea. But we'll check this out and then we'll move on to regulated mods. I'll do one more.
Where'd you go?
This thing just clouds, and that's all it does. I don't know if you can see it or not. This thing, it's it's not a Mech mod per se. It does have some wiring. It's got twin MOSFETs in it to keep the, that way they can run a cooler button and keep it cool, keep things from blowing up. The button, when you fire it, it lights up blue. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Once I get my old hand over it, shade it a little bit. It's just a cool mod. It's all aluminum. I mean, it's solid. The door's magnetic. It sticks on there real good. It has 2 screw holes. One right there at the top, one right there at the bottom. I don't run them just because every time I charge the batteries, I don't want to jack with pulling 2 little tiny screws out and dropping them, and it just sucks. These don't have a charge port or nothing on them. I've seen where there's like I guess you'd say a second generation that does have a charging port. I couldn't tell you if they're good, they're junk. I don't know because I have this one. I've seen and heard that they're coming out with another one. Unfortunately, it's an acrylic box. I'm not a fan of acrylic boxes because if you drop an acrylic box, it's done. It's going to break. But the acrylic box ones apparently have a toggle switch on the side where you can switch it from series to parallel. So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have twin batteries running parallel, on a sub-ohm tank or a dripper, whatever, and you can vape, all day for a long time, have all that kind of fun. Or you can go to a competition, build stupid low, or switch it to series and just, hit it like a jetliner, But that's enough about that guy. We'll go back to regulated box mods. Now, the reason they're called regulated box mods is inside this guy there's, a computer chip and all this. You set your wattage, or like I'm still running this guy, in temperature control. And some of you might notice that there's been a few changes to it. I got me a vapor bands. It says sub-ohm. Yeah, we're so proud of sub-ohm, smaller numbers because we're not real smart, so we can deal with them better. But anyways, got me a vapor band. Vapor bands, I'm sure some of you know, some of you don't. Vapor bands are, if you drop this thing, it protects that tank from hitting a solid surface and breaking that tank. Yeah, what he said. Juice everywhere, glass and juice. You end up getting blood in the juice, then you can't reuse the juice. Don't reuse juice off the floor. Just FYI. Pick the thing up. I think they're like $1 or something like that. They're not really expensive. It's way cheaper than a tank. Some people think they look goofy. Well, I'm that kind of person, so I have one. Another thing, just repping a little Oklahoma company, Liquid Mind Designs acrylic tips. Man, these things are cool. No two alike. You see this one's green. It's got like a brownish bronze little swirl in it. Super cool. These things have a huge bore inside of them, and they actually have no O-rings. See if I can get this guy out of here. They're actually a press fit tip. No O-ring. They fit tight. You actually, when you get them, they're fairly long, and you actually use like a fingernail file, and you file them down so that they fit flush. So it's custom fit to your tank or dripper, whatever you want to put it in, and they fit really tight. They look really clean. They're just cool. Hey, and just a little update. The complaint about my screen before, well, I did some research. There's a little trick or mod or whatever you want to call it. You actually take this screen out. Just pull that little screw there, and pull that little screw right there. It's just a little Allen wrench. You don't have to take the one side completely off, but I did. I just pulled the side completely off, pull the screen out, and actually on the back side, tape off the area that you want to clear up, and you actually just rub it with a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol, and it takes all the little mirror finish off the back, so that you can now read the screen. Look at that coolness. I hated this screen. I mean, hated it. It still didn't stop me from loving the mod. It's still a great mod, but I freaking hated that screen. You guys heard me gripe about it, but now it's great. It gets a little bit brighter. You see when you actually vape it, but it's not so bright that driving in the car at night or something like that, it's not blinding you. When you have it in your face and you hit the button, it's not that bright. But it's nice that I can actually now see it in the sun or a bright room or wherever. But what we'll do, we let you guys off the hook now. We'll finish up this video. There is some more stuff coming. I've got ties on getting a few new things, doing some more reviews with the holidays and all that. Things just got crazy and jumbled up between my work, trying to get product. But I'm working on getting them. I'll get you some videos. One of them is actually the IPv3 Li. It looks like the old IPv3, but it does temperature control like the 4. Does wattage, all that. I haven't really got to mess with it a bunch, but I'm working on that. I'll bring you more information with that one. A couple more little drippers, just some simple stuff, nothing crazy. But we'll talk about it, everything. Given that, we're going to go ahead and close this thing out, let you guys out of here. Let's all thank Tanner for coming and hanging out with us in this little sweaty room until we turn the fan on. Because it is July after all. But, given that, we'll shut her down with a couple of big hitter mods here. And we'll just say, keep living life.
In the vape lane. Really?